Welcome, welcome, welcome to Story Time with me, Miss Sheila. I hope you had a wonderful and beautiful day. Today's story is called Abalone Woman. Wow. So it's an indigenous story, and we're going to find out what this is all about. Okay? Listen up. Let's hear. Many nights, Little Wolf went to sleep with a heavy heart as she thought about her mother's childhood. Little Wolf's mother, White Raven, had spent 10 years in a residential school when she was a girl. Like many First Nations children of her generation, White Raven had her culture, language, family, and community taken away from her. She felt the pain of this experience for her entire life. Little Wolf felt it too. Oh, that's very hard. Little Wolf couldn't understand how some people could be so mean, from the adults who ran the residential schools to the children who had teased Little Wolf when she was a girl. Some people felt it was their right to be cruel to those who were different. And one night, after she fell asleep thinking about this, Little Wolf was given a dream. Hmm. In the dream, Little Wolf stood before a painting of a frog. Slowly the painting blurred and turned to a scene of people gathered along the seashore. The tide was out and the people had their backs to Little Wolf. Then the painting came alive. Little Wolf found herself among the people on the beach. She even wore the same type of woven bark clothing they had on. So there's the picture of the frog, remember? And then there's the picture of the beach. The people had just finished gathering clams for a feast. And Little Wolf walked through the shallow, warm water and saw a bright purple starfish. She was hypnotized by it and cradled the starfish in her hands, soaking in its beauty. Time seemed to stand still. It's beautiful pictures. Suddenly, a man started yelling and pointing towards a distant spot in the water. Little Wolf looked where the man was pointing and gasped. A large serpent rose out of the water, flying towards the people on the beach. The people were terrified. They had never seen anything like this before and started to panic. We have to kill it before more serpents arrive, the same man yelled. The people, still afraid, and started picking up rocks and spears and anything they could find to attack the quickly approaching serpent. As they did this, more serpents appeared above the surface of the water. Ooh, look, that would be scary. Although she felt uneasy too, Little Wolf did not want to kill the serpents. She couldn't explain why, but she knew she had to stop everyone. Wait! She yelled. Don't kill them. If you only look into their eyes, you will see their souls. You will see their beauty, and you will see that there is no reason to be afraid. But the people did not listen. As more serpents rose from the ocean, one man started spearing the serpents. Then the other men and women did the same. Soon all the serpents were dead. Oh my goodness. The people decided to bury the serpents at the edge of the ocean and covered with wet sand and clay. This would harden and trap their spirits. After completing this task, everyone was tired. They sat and stood in line to survey the mound of sand and clay that held the slain serpents, and everything was quiet. Then, without warning, the serpents burst out of the mound and charged at the people. Everyone yelled and screamed and ran in all directions, trying to escape. Only Little Wolf did not move. Don't be afraid, she shouted. These creatures are children of the Creator, just like you. The serpents will only chase you if you let fear overwhelm you. Hmm. Little Wolf covered her eyes. Without even looking, she knew what was happening. Wherever a serpent had been speared, a rocky, ridge-like scar appeared on the human who had wounded it. Oh. As the serpents vanished, the scar stayed behind on the people as reminders of what had happened to them when their fear controlled them. Only Little Wolf was unscarred because she had remained calm. She was rewarded. The Creator gave the tips of her long hair a shimmering glow, the same colors as the inside of an abalone shell. Mm. Oh, look at her hair. Isn't that beautiful? And so then you see the shell right there too. The next day a feast was being held at the big house, and some visiting members of a faraway community were going to be there. When Little Wolf got to the big house, she found 4 people waiting for her at the door. Why don't you go inside? Little Wolf asked. We're afraid, one of the men admitted. The visitors look so different from our people. They are strangers. We don't know how to talk to them. Will you be the one to welcome the visitors? Woman asked Little Wolf. You are the only one who was not afraid of the serpents, and your hair reminds everyone to be brave and to see the beauty in all of the Creator's children. Little Wolf was honored to be asked, and she agreed to welcome the visitors. They walked arm in arm into the big house, 2 people on both sides of her. Little Wolf was in the middle with her hair aglow. After the feast, a magical warm wind danced through the crowd and brought the breath of the ancient ones. In it, the elders held a new name. They honored Little Wolf's wise and brave heart by renaming her Abalone Woman. Look at that celebration. With pride still glowing in her heart, Little Wolf, now Abalone Woman, awoke in her own bed. When she looked down, she was still wearing a woven cedar bark bracelet on her wrist. It was the same bracelet she had been wearing in her dream. She glanced at her calendar and saw that today was the day she was going to speak at her daughter's school. The teacher had asked her to talk about a difficult topic, racism. Abalone Woman wasn't nervous at all. She knew exactly what she would talk about. Nice, because that's what was her dream was all about. Woman arrived at her daughter's classroom and told the children about her dream. The dream had taught her that although we're all different, we have so many things in common. We all need food, a safe home, family and friends, and we love and who love us, exercise and clean air and water. When we all see our differences, we may be overcome by fear. Our fear may cause us to hurt others, but in doing so, we are also hurting ourselves. When we see the humanity in others, we learn from each other. We enrich each other's lives. The following week, when Avalon Women returned to the school, each of the children had brought something that represented their culture. Nice. See? And here it says, stories are medicine. One boy who was born in Scotland brought photographs of the small castle he used to live in. One of the girls showed everyone a beautiful jade necklace that her grandmother had sent her from China. And another boy, whose parents were born in Russia, dressed in a traditional Russian folk dancer's outfit and sang an old Russian wedding song. Avalon Woman's daughter brought a huge tray of smoked salmon and crackers for everyone to share, along with an abalone shell and an eagle feather to show her classmates. She taught the other children that when someone is holding an eagle feather and speaking, everyone else must listen. The children had so much fun learning about each other's cultural histories, that the teacher arranged to share the activities with the rest of the school. Hooray! Abalone Woman thought again about her dream and how it related to her own life. She thought about the racism her mother experienced in the residential schools and how she herself was bullied when she was the only First Nations girl in her class. And she hoped that by encouraging children to see the humanity in each other and the beauty in each other's cultures, they would grow up unafraid of differences and they would grow up unafraid of difference and accepting of everyone. Yes, I hope so too. That is such a cool story. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned the lessons to know, like, let's be friends, let's be kind. It doesn't matter what somebody looks like, or it just matters if they're kind. We can all be very caring and loving to each other. Okay? Until next time with me, Miss Sheila. Have a wonderful and beautiful day. Take care. Bye.